I'm going to be getting married. And that's just what I deserve for being such a beautiful woman.
Hmm? Is that so? You're getting married to Andy then? Congratulations.
That is right. But why do you know about him? Did I ever tell you the name of my boyfriend before?
I think that I've known about Andy a lot longer than you have at this point. But you don't have to worry about that. Just congrats on you both getting married. However, I wasn't really thinking that the two of you would ever make it this far together. But you have always wanted to get married to someone, so this is great for you.
What is up with that kind of attitude? Are you trying to talk down to me? Did you really think that I wouldn't be able to get a man to marry me, even though I have this wonderful body?
Huh? Why do you think I meant what I said as a slight towards you? I just wanted to say congrats for finding a man that would marry you, and that I'm happy to see things working out.
Well, you don't have the right to talk to me like that about my situation. Have you even seen the current job you're working? Would you ever think it's okay for an overnight cleaning lady to talk to anyone else the way you've been? You're the lowest of the low in the society, so I'm not going to let you talk crap.
About this again? What about being a cleaning lady means that I'm the lowest of the low? I've been putting a lot of effort into my job, and I take it very seriously. So don't call me anything like a lowlife, okay?
Well, someone like you shouldn't be having to do a job like that. But perhaps that's the reason why I'm the one getting married and not you.
As though you were chosen? Well, just as long as you're getting married for love.
But when I do get married to Andy, I'll become a housewife for him. Unlike a cleaning lady, I'll never have to work in other people's houses or offices to do their dirty work.
I don't have a problem with any of that, though. Layla, do you think you could stop talking down to me about the job I do? I'm starting to become a little bit upset by the way you talk about me. I'm sure that you can't see that yet, but...
Why do I have to care about how you feel when I talk to you? I'm not in the position where I have to give up my time thinking about how low lives feel. And you are the worst of the low lives.
You're going too far, Layla. And to put some things into perspective for you, do you know how you ended up meeting Andy in the first place?
What do you want to say to me? I was introduced to Andy by Mom, right? She told me that he's one of her friend's son.
Huh? Is that what she told you?
That is. So what does that mean to you? A low-life scum like you is not invited to my wedding? If a cleaning lady came to my special day, it would make the whole atmosphere go sour.
That attitude you have right there. Stop it! I'm getting to my limits with the way you're treating me now, Layla. If I were to stay away from your wedding like you've said, things wouldn't go so well for you. So I'm going. Now, I'll see you at your wedding. Mom, I can see that Layla is going to end up marrying Andrew now, right? Have you not told her yet that I'm the one that's known Andy and introduced him?
Well, that's the problem. It became harder and harder for me to tell her that. With that girl, if I mentioned that you were the one that introduced Andy, she'd freak out, right? She'd get all up in our faces again and would think that we're all playing with her.
Well, I can understand that she wouldn't take it lightly. I can definitely see her flipping out at the news that I was the one to bring him along. But it's crazy that she thinks we're being rude or mean to her when she's the one that's been that way to me my whole life.
And that's the reason I never said anything about her to you. But now that she's going to be getting married to him, she'll finally be able to move out of this house. I'm planning on getting out of here myself and into a new home.
Is that so?
I want to move away with Dad to a smaller farmhouse out in the countryside to spend our final years relaxing. And so we've both been waiting a long time for her to leave.
I can see that. Well, thankfully that time has come.
And once things have settled down after the move, we'd love for you to come out and see the place.
All right. But that's only if Layla can get married to that man. I'm starting to feel a bit bad, though, for Andy now that I've introduced him to a demon of sorts. But if he's really that into Layla, then that's great for him.
I think the two of them fit like puzzle pieces, so it's worked out. I think that Lila and him will be able to get along well, even after marriage, so I'm praying that things go smoothly for her and she doesn't throw it all away.
I'm in the same boat as you are. She told me she doesn't want me to come to her wedding. But I'm afraid something will happen if I don't show, so I'm gonna go still, okay?
And you should still go. She's still a little selfish brat, so you don't have to listen to what she says.
Thank goodness. Well, I'm looking forward to the wedding.
Did you not listen to me? Hurry up and get lost, you moneyless lowlife. I don't want you showing yourself to Andy when he should never know that you're part of my family.
Do you have no idea what you've just done? I think that what's happened is literally taking things way too far between us.
Well, it's your fault for coming to my wedding in the first place, right? I didn't even invite you here in the first place, yet you still showed up.
Well, Mom had received an invitation from Andy asking for the whole family to come to the wedding. I knew that you wanted me to stay away today, but choosing to be violent towards me was going too far overboard.
What about that was violent? I was just making sure that your eyes were opened.
Well, you came up to me and slapped me across the face before yelling at me to leave. Do you not see how messed up something like that really is?
You're getting on my nerves, Sydney. What I had to do with you was in defense of my wedding.
What? Do you know what it means to defend something? Are you sure you weren't just assaulting me a second ago?
Low-life scum are not a part of my family, so hurry up and leave already. You should have listened to me before I had to take action and defend my wedding.
Why do you think that I'm some lowlife that's worth assaulting?
Because you're an overnight cleaning lady.
Layla, look! What you're saying makes no sense right now.
What I'm saying does make sense. I'm not okay with my little sister being a cleaning lady when she had so much potential. I slapped you to try and wake you up, so now that you understand how I feel about you, get lost.
Then you have a great one.
I don't need to hear that from you.
I'm going to do as you wish and go right home. But allow me to say one last thing. The man that you've just married was introduced to you by me.
Really? Why are you starting to say such unrealistic things now?
I get it. You're not going to believe me. But you're the only one that doesn't seem to care.
What do you mean?
Mom just happened to never tell you about his relation to me. She wanted to keep you from getting upset with me for bringing Andy along, and so she never told you a thing about how he's your husband due to me. You were already upset with me due to my job as a cleaning lady, and she couldn't see you believing her without getting pissed. But the reason that I was able to bring him to you is because I became friends with him and his parents due to my job. But I already have a fiancé, so I decided that he should talk to you more if he was looking for someone.
You know him and his parents? What are you talking about? Do you really think I can take a joke like that seriously? Have you got off the deep end now? I'm sorry that you're having to leave my wedding is so distressing, but it has to be done.
The only reason Mom never told you was for the sake of making sure you would stay with Andy. She was afraid of how angry you'd become and that you'd throw your relationship with Andy away because of me.
Are you really telling me the truth? Why has Andy vanished from me all of a sudden? What's going on here?
Maybe it's because his parents watched as you slapped me in the face earlier?
Huh? They saw all of that?
They saw the whole thing unfold! If it wasn't for you laughing so hard at me, they might have not came and looked. But after you slapped me and started to laugh some more, I went and met with them.
Wait, when you went to go see them, you didn't say anything unnecessary, right? And are you for real? About you and Andy already knowing one another?
Because I had known his parents and him for a while. They took good care of me. And it's because of them that I was able to find you a man to marry. But now you've gone and slapped me in front of both his parents.
But I never knew anything about you guys, so maybe this is just you trying to make up crap. Hold on, something's going on. Because you're not here, his parents seem pretty upset right now. And they just told Andy that I've done something wrong. Do you think you could come back here? I feel that if you don't come back right now, things will get pretty bad for me. Please hurry.
Even if you asked nicely, I'm not coming back now, huh?
Huh? Why not? Right now, things are starting to go downhill and I'm a bit panicked. I'm in a bit of pinch right now, so please come back here. Why, after a little slap to my sister, are they all starting to get worked up? Hurry up and get back here.
You asking me to come back now after telling me to get lost out of panic isn't going to work.
Why?
Because you just told me, Layla. You said you don't see me as family, right?
No, that's not what I meant by that.
And now that you've said and done things to someone as vital as me, you might end up getting divorced from him pretty soon. I'm sure that both Andy and his parents are regretting me introducing him to you. We had tried so hard to make things work out between you two. But I've already talked with Andy about this.
Huh? Why? Why are you talking with him before asking me for permission? You don't have to do things like that behind my back. What have you guys been talking about?
I told him that you no longer see me as your family, and so he no longer has to worry about you and I. I then ended our conversation by asking that he do what he thinks is best regarding you.
Huh? What do you mean by that? Do you think that he needs to do something about me being with him now?
Well, you talk down to me for being a cleaning lady, and even have gone as far as to regard me as nothing but a stranger now. I feel as though he should understand that and think twice about being married to you.
Please don't tell me you told him all about that, right?
Of course I told him.
Why did you do something like that to me?
That's right. I almost forgot to say this. I think you really don't know the importance of this.
What is it now? What importance is there that I'm unaware of?
Andy's parents are actually the ones that own the company in which I work for.
Huh?
You've been going on about how much you dislike those that work in the cleaning industry. And since you seem to hate people like me so much, it wouldn't make sense that you be married to the son of two people that own a company which is in the cleaning industry, right?
Hold on. Andy is the son of the company's CEO? I had a feeling that he had a lot of money, but I just assumed he was working for a good company, that's all. That would mean that I've landed the perfect husband, right?
Well, that's only if your marriage to him lasts, right?
I never knew about that. He never mentioned to me that his parents owned a company. I'm freaking out right now because there's so many things I never was told about. This is all way too different from the situation I was thinking about. What should I do now?
Asking me what you should do will get you nowhere. That all has nothing to do with me now. I think that your wedding will be canceled now, and you being married to Andy will crumble, right? You're going to go back to being a single and jobless loser, right?
What is with you calling me that? I'm your sister. And if all of that happens to me because of you, you get back here right now and do something about this. I've never heard of a little sister acting out like that towards her older sister.
Well, I don't think of you as my sister anymore.
Huh?
After what's happened, I'm thinking of just cutting ties with you now. I like to think that someone who's willing to slap their own sister is no family of mine. And so I'll do whatever I can to make sure I don't have to see you anymore. Now, goodbye forever.
Wait, what are you saying? If you are to cut ties with me right now, what will happen to my marriage to Andy? Stop trying to run away from your responsibility.
Well, to be honest, you being married to him was never going to work. He was going to become aware of you at some point in time, so aren't you happy that his eyes have been opened now? Ah, and another thing. Mom and Dad are going to be moving away. And they said they're no longer going to take care of you anymore. So, if you're thinking of going back to them, they won't be there. Don't forget about that, okay?
What's going on? Are you saying that Mom and Dad are going to throw me away as well? You getting in the way of my wedding is the worst thing ever.
I didn't get in the way of anything. You just messed up by slapping me in the face.
That was just a joke, or maybe it was just an accident.
No matter how you try and make excuses for what happened, it won't help you. Now, good luck with your marriage. But before you try for marriage, maybe find yourself a job? Right now, you're just a complete loser. Are you not embarrassed being 33 years old and still living with your parents under all their care? You like to call cleaners lowlifes, but when you think about it, someone who's unemployed and lives with their parents is the real lowlife. See you never, you lost cause! Never try talking to me again. In the end, Layla was left in despair after her wedding was canceled. She immediately ran away from everyone at the wedding and their short marriage was over. Andy's parents tried searching for her as they still wanted to talk to her about why she would do what she did, but after searching for her for hours, they gave up and let her be. Andy was left a small bit heartbroken, but was more relieved than anything else since he was able to see the true person that Layla really was. Layla tried running back to her parents' house, but would soon find that it was already too late for herself. Layla's parents were already out of their old house and moved to the countryside by then. And since she had no one to rely on anymore, she was forced into having to support herself. She tried to get Sydney to help her, but by that point, Sydney had already blocked all her ways of contacting her. Sydney had also gotten married to her fiancé as well, and moved to a new location. And so, Layla was left with nothing but herself, and had to start from scratch like most people had done in their early 20s. If only she had gone out and started fending for herself sooner. Something like this would never be happening to her.
Vicky, this coming Saturday we were planning to go out for lunch. You'll join us this time, right? Saturday. I want to spend the weekends with my family as much as possible. What? You plan on skipping again? You keep using work as an excuse to not come. So this time we went out of our way to plan something on Saturday for you. I appreciate it. But Saturday evening I already have plans as well, so it's a bit tricky. In that case, why don't we just kick you out of our mom's group? Of course, if we take you out, it'll affect your daughter. Is that alright with you? Of course it's not. Right. Then you should definitely join us this Saturday. Why do you always invite me to your lunch outings? What? You don't like being invited? That's not it. But I get the feeling that you don't like me. And yet you always reach out to invite me. I just found it a bit strange. I heard this from one of our other moms. But your husband works for a famous company, right? You basically live in a mansion. And I'd be upset if you joined a rich person's mom club. So I'm keeping you in our group. Is that what it is? But to be honest, I don't really like you. Have I done something wrong? You never join us when we invite you. And when we all met up for the first time, you didn't introduce yourself to me, even though I'm our group's leader. Also, it's annoying how you always act so carefree, but you always invite me to lunch the day before the lunch itself. If you were to tell me about your plans a bit earlier, I could prepare myself better. But this time it's 2 days in advance. I think I've mentioned before that weekends are a bit difficult for me. I don't remember that at all. And the reason I didn't introduce myself to you that first time is because I didn't know that you were the leader of the group. I think I've also said that many times. Ugh, stop with all these excuses. So annoying. You should fix your personality. If you don't like me, why don't you stop talking to me? I also don't enjoy the way you treat me. What? In that case, we'll take your daughter out of the kids' friend group and chase your family out of the neighborhood Can you really do all that? Of course I can. My husband is the CEO of A Corporation. It's a huge company. I've heard. Ah, you even know. You always show off your husband, don't you? I recall you doing this before. The way you're talking now is also getting on my nerves. Excuse me. Anyway, you're required to come to lunch this Saturday. Then is it alright if I just come for an hour? Fine. As long as you come. Thank you. For the lunch. Be sure to dress appropriately. How do you want me to dress? Can you be more specific? Dior, Chanel. I want you to come wearing clothes from brands that even I would know. Dior or Chanel. Even if it's not the specific brands, it's fine. I just don't want you to come wearing H&M or other cheap clothes you usually wear. It's degrading. Got it. And you can't come empty-handed. Of course. I was wondering what I should bring. Don't bring anything cheap. Is there anything specific you want? If you bring snacks that are over $150, it'll be fine. $150? Are you saying you can't spend $150? Are you having financial issues? That's not it. But isn't that a bit expensive? In that case, we will haze you and your daughter. Fine. I'll bring something nice. See you then. Vicky, why did you go home? Nice of you to text me. Are you by any chance angry? Of course I'm angry. Suddenly splashing coffee on me? That was so mean. Seeing you covered in steaming coffee and running home with tears in your eyes? It was super funny. Your attitude was bad. So I just brought you down to your level. You should reflect on yourself. We will cancel all transactions with you and bring your company down. What? I don't get what you mean. What do you mean transactions? The company your husband manages does business with our company. Wait! You run a company? I don't. My husband is the CEO, and I'm sort of like his secretary. You're kidding! I never heard your husband was a CEO. I've only told a few of the moms. All I've said to the rest of the moms is vaguely that my husband works for a well-established company. What's the name of the company? It can't be that big of a deal, right? P Holdings. What? P Holdings is my husband's company's most important business partner, and it's one of the top-ranking businesses in the business world. Well, we've been fortunate. My husband and father have worked really hard. Huh? Your dad used to be the CEO? Yes. My grandfather founded the company, and it passed on to my father, and now to my husband. So, you've always been rich? The company has grown a lot recently, but when my dad was CEO, we had some tough times. We weren't always well off. There have even been times when we were in deep debt. Really? But my dad put his heart and soul into the company, and somehow we managed to stay afloat. Our employees also worked really hard. So since then, we've been doing well. I didn't know your husband was the CEO of P Holdings. The work you always were busy with was for P Holdings? Yeah, I work the same schedule as my husband, so we're pretty busy. I thought you were just working part-time or something. Going back to what we were talking about earlier, I told my husband about what happened. Of course, he plans to speak to your husband about this. Wait! If you cut off your business relationships with my husband's company because of me, if my husband doesn't do business with you, A Corporation will probably go bankrupt. Possibly. I've heard your husband's company has been in the red for a while now. Recently, they've had very little business. Really? Yes. There are a lot of bad rumors going around. What? I won't say anything about the rumors since I don't have proof. I want to hear them. But anyway, you'll cause a lot of trouble for us if you cut off ties with A Corporation. I will pay for dry cleaning for your clothes and any compensation you ask for. So won't you forgive me? If A Corporation goes bankrupt, I don't know how we'll survive. I'm not hurt or anything, and I'll be happy with just getting compensation for the clothes. But my husband is incredibly angry. Huh? You already told your husband? Today's my husband's day off. So he was very surprised to see me come home covered in coffee. He asked me what happened, and I told him you threw coffee on me. Why did you tell him? Well, there is no need for me to hide it. And anyway, if that sort of thing is done to me, I can't just stay quiet. So, you're mad after all? Of course I'm angry. But my husband is way more angry than I am. He is contacting your husband now. He is? Please, tell him to stop. No. I don't plan on forgiving you either. No way! Let's talk about compensation later. Cutting off business ties with A Corporation is too much. Because your company cut off ties with A Corporation, we're way in the red. And it seems the company is heading towards bankruptcy. I know. Even the few business partners A Corporation has will probably terminate their contracts one by one. You know that much? Of course. I work in the same field after all. Why would other companies end their contracts? Our company is well known. If the other companies hear that we terminated our contract, they would suspect something is wrong and begin to doubt A Corporation, don't you think? But my husband hasn't done anything wrong. You don't know anything about what your husband is like at work, do you? Well, I don't work there after all. More importantly, can't your company re-sign its contract? I'm not the one who decides that. Then try asking the CEO. My husband has tried calling your husband many times, but your husband told him he has no intention of talking anymore and won't meet with him. My husband has been really busy these days. I'm sure he doesn't want to waste his time on useless things like this. Can't you do something? At least tell him to hear us out. Even if our husbands speak, the situation won't change. And anyway, it seems my husband has been planning to stop working with A Corporation for a while now. Really? It seems you don't know. But there are a lot of bad rumors about A Corporation. Huh? They say A Corporation charges smaller companies more money than it should, and that your husband has been acting very arrogantly. Also, that your husband uses company money for himself, and that he goes on fake business trips with young female employees. What the? I've never heard about that. Well, probably no one could bring themselves to tell you. They're rumors, so I'm not sure if it's true or not. But since so many people in the business world talk about it, there's a high chance it's true. No way! He seemed to always be so confident about his work. I thought he was really working hard. He would give me quite a lot of money. That's weird. A Corporation has been dealing with a lot of losses recently. Maybe the money he gave you was money from loans he's taken out. No way! We will no longer be involved with A Corporation. So best of luck. Please tell your husband I wish him luck too. Wait, don't leave me like this. We need to live somehow. If we're in debt, there's no way we'll survive. That has nothing to do with us. You brought this upon yourself. You reap what you sow. Please don't say that. Won't you please give us another chance? We aren't charity that helps business manage themselves. There's no use in us being involved with a company that doesn't have a future. No way! Also, I'm sure you know, but I will claim compensation for the clothes you ruined. When I send you an invoice, be sure to pay it. Hello, Vicky. I'm sure you know, but my husband's company filed for bankruptcy. His ex-employees are suing him for compensation for emotional and sexual harassment, and it's a huge mess. I know. It seems that your husband really messed around a lot at work. It's only natural he's getting sued. So why are you texting me? Let me get straight to the point. Would you please lend us some money? If you gave us $230,000 for the time being, it would really save us. Of course not. There's no way I'd give you that much. Anything. Please. We took out all the loans our bank would give us, and we can't ask our parents for any more. Why are you telling me this? Did you really think I would help you? Will you return the money? Well, we don't have the money to return at the moment, but I promise that somehow we will one day. If you want people to give you money, you should at least act sincere. I will get on my knees and beg. Please help us. No. I don't feel like helping you. Why? Are you still mad at me? I would be lying if I said I'm not mad. Moreover, making a request like this, what are you even thinking? You should pay me the money you owe me and disappear from my life. It's not that I want to ask you like this, but you're the only person I could ask. Allie, I heard you messaged the other moms asking them for money too. You knew? Yes. Suddenly asking us all to give you money? You're just causing trouble for everyone. But no one replied to me. Many of them didn't even read my messages. It seems that no one wants to help you out. There's nothing you can do. Why won't you help me? Until just recently, everyone acted like they were my friends. Everyone wanted to cut off ties with you. Really? As soon as you were upset at someone, you would bully them, using their child as tools to threaten them. You would turn on them and even hit them if they didn't do what you said, right? Well, luckily the clothes I wore were on the thicker side, so I wasn't burned when you threw coffee on me. But it seems there are some moms you've actually hurt. You and your husband would threaten them to cover up your bad deeds, right? You know that much? These stories are well known among all the moms. No one would want to reach out to help someone who is fine with hurting others. It seems that a lot of people hated you. Looks like things will get tough for you guys from now on. No way! Please do something. I'm reflecting on everything I've done so far, and I will never do it again. I don't want you to abandon me like this. I'm over the whole coffee situation. Really? You'll forgive me? Even if I forgive you, that doesn't change the reality of the situation. Being the wife of a company CEO really has made you big-hearted. You're also the wife of an ex-CEO. We're very different. I will do my best from now on to become more like you. Please don't group yourself together with me. It seems that you're misunderstanding something. Huh? How things were going? I thought you would agree to help me. Why? I'm just saying that you don't have to apologize for the coffee incident anymore. So just take responsibility for it. Responsibility? Money for the clothes. Those clothes were a present from my husband. They were very important to me. Really? I didn't know that. I'm sorry. You don't need to apologize. As long as you pay me, it'll be fine. Pay you? Do you mean the amount on the invoice? Yeah. Even if the clothes are dry cleaned, they can't be cleaned completely. So you owe me money to buy a new set. Wait! But there's no way they're that expensive. Really? Considering it was tailored clothing from a famous foreign brand, I think that's a reasonable price. So there's only one set of those clothes in the whole world? Yes. My husband gave them to me as an anniversary present 3 years ago. They're a precious memory for me. My husband was also sad when he saw them covered in coffee. I'm sorry, but there's no way I can give you $40,000. Maybe I can give you 1/10 of that? No way. Even if you need to pay me in multiple installments, you better pay me back the entire sum. Even if it means going to court, I will make sure you pay me back. Don't take this to court! We receive court notices every day. I feel like I'm going crazy. This is all your husband's fault, right? You have no choice but to work together and overcome this. Though I get that it's a high wall to climb. Then please, let me at least work for P Holdings. If you want to work for us, come to an interview. But my husband has a terrible impression of you, so I think the likelihood of him hiring you is near zero. But life will probably feel like hell for you from now on. So good luck. I will be waiting for you to pay me back. Shortly after, Allie paid me back for the clothes she ruined. I heard that to pay me back, she took out a loan from a very shady crediting agency. Her husband also had to take out a lot of loans to pay the ridiculous sum he owed all his employees that sued him. They left their apartment, and I haven't seen them since. According to rumors, Allie's parents took custody of Allie's child. That couple's life must feel like hell right now. On the other hand, my husband and I have been working hard to keep growing our company. We are very careful with how we treat our employees and business partners, so we don't become like Allie and her husband.